If you're looking at headlight upgrades for your Ram truck, you've got to check out the Morimoto XB LED Hybrid. These are a projector headlight with the LEDs built in, no light bulbs, and they're almost 600% brighter than the stock headlights on your Ram. These fit 09 to 18, Ram 1500 and 2500, and the 19 to 2021 Ram Classic old body style. Everybody knows that the Morimoto XB headlight for the Ram is the coolest, best, and brightest option out there. The Morimoto XB Hybrid uses a lot of the same high quality components, but they skip a couple things to bring the cost down a little bit. You're still getting an incredible upgrade over stock without paying the full price that you normally would for Morimoto. They have a OEM style white daytime running light that dims to 50% brightness when you turn your headlights on. They use a dedicated low beam LED projector and a dedicated high beam LED projector. On low beam, you've got your two outside LED projectors turned on. Then on high beam, your inside two turn on also. So on high beam, you're running with all four headlights. With the exception of reusing your stock front turn signal bulb, these headlights are completely maintenance free. There's no light bulbs in the side markers, in the turn signal, in the DRL, in the low beam, or the high beam. They're a completely sealed unit as far as the parking lights, DRL, and headlights go. Install is just as easy as swapping out a stock set of headlights. You take out your old ones, and the new XB Hybrid fits in place with the exact same shape, the exact same mounting tabs, and the exact same headlight aiming adjusters. All of the wiring is plug and play too, and in just a minute we're going to walk you through step by step how to do the install. These things might as well be a stock headlight the way they install. It's super easy. When we turn on the stock halogen headlights that came on your truck from the factory, these things only make 120 maximum lux on low beam. The factory projector headlights and the factory H13 headlights aren't much better. The Morimoto XB Hybrid is a huge upgrade in performance regardless of what year your truck is or which headlights it came with from the factory. The Morimoto XB Hybrid came in at 710 maximum lux at the exact same distance away in the same space with the same measuring tool. That's 491% brighter, and that's the number you really want to pay attention to. Almost a 500% increase in brightness is unheard of. Not to mention how wide they are. Look at the left side and the right side compared to stock. These are way brighter, way farther out. And you know what that means. You're going to be able to see sidewalks, ditches, and other things coming at you way before you could with your stock headlights. The stock halogen high beam headlights on your Ram are only 240 maximum lux at 25 feet. That's not very bright. Now remember at the beginning of the video I said almost 600% brighter. This is that number. The XB Hybrid for your Ram, on the other hand, is incredibly bright, coming in at 1,590 maximum lux. That's 562% brighter. Not to mention, the width is more impressive, the height is more impressive, the intensity is almost bright enough to melt the snow off the sidewalk. These are insane. If you don't think this is going to change your driving experience during the day or the night, you're crazy. Now let's show you how to do the install so when yours arrive, you're ready to go.
All right, everybody, let's get started on the install. Let's get started by popping the hood. All right, first thing we're going to want to do is take off this black panel right here. There's about 6 push pins. Let's get started on that. All right, with all those removed, now we can set this black piece off to the side. All right, the next thing we're going to want to do is remove the grill. There is 4 10mm bolts. Let's get started. Let's take off the last bolt. All right, before you take off the grill, there's 2 push tabs that are located on each side, driver's side and passenger side. You're going to want to remove those before you pull off the grill. They're pretty easy to get to. Just use any kind of pry tool. And there you go. All right, we have one more tab on the passenger side. Just make sure you hold a hand on the grill. You don't want it to fall on the floor. And just pull the grill off and hold off to the side. Before we remove the headlight housing, there's 2 bolts located on the front, and there's a hidden tab inside the fender liner. I like to remove the tab first so the headlight doesn't fall on the ground. Let's get started on that. Now, to find the tab that's holding on the headlight housing, you have a little trap door hidden on here in the fender well that's held down by a push pin. Let's remove that to get to the tab holding in the headlight. All right, now that we have that trap door removed, you want to reach into the fender well, the little hole, and feel for this tab. Now, it's kind of hard to film, so you have to reach for it and feel. It'll feel like a little plastic tab. It's to the left and up, and I want you to press up on the tab, and that will unlock it. Now we can go back to the front of the headlight housing and remove the 2 bolts holding it on. I like to start off with the bottom one. All right, now that we have the front bolts removed from the housing, we can now begin removing it. It pulls straight out. You may need a little bit of effort, so you may need to put a little pry tool in between the fender and the housing. If you've never done this before, I recommend putting a little bit of tape or a rag down so you won't scratch anything up. Next, we'll remove the connectors. All right, to remove this connector, first you're going to want to take off this little gray retainer clip, and then press on this black tab and it comes right off. Now the headlight is free from the vehicle and we can take it off to the side. First we got to install this fuse tap right here. It goes to the 10 amp inside the fuse box. Then we'll run each one of these connectors to each headlight. The longer one goes to the passenger side, and I will show you how to do that. To install the DRL harness, let's start by opening up the fuse box. Now that we have the fuse box open, you're going to want to remove this 10 amp fuse that's located right here. Now that we have the 10 amp fuse removed, we can put this fuse tap in its place. Now that we have the fuse tap installed, we can go ahead and close the fuse box, but I like to run the harness on hide on the side over here. Now that we have the fuse box all closed up, we can begin by running the DRL harness. We're going to start with the driver's side. It is the shorter of the 2 wires. Now we can run the passenger side DRL harness. I like to go along the front of the core support, and then you can follow the loom. It goes down to this opening, and you can pull it right through. Now we can begin plugging up the connectors to the new headlight housing. Now make sure you pay attention to what style connector you have on your truck. This is a 21 Ram Classic, so we want to make sure that it's purple and it connects right here. Next we have the turn signal. It locks right into place. Next we can plug in the DRL harness that we just ran. Just grab the end of the connectors and they click right into place. All right, now that we have the DRL plugged in, we can now plug in the new turn signal connectors. You want to take your factory one and plug it into this end of the headlight housing and then lock it into place. Take this new end right here and plug it into the back of the turn signal, just like that. Now that we have all of our connections plugged in, we can begin by reinstalling the housing. Just give it a little gentle push. Just install those 2 bolts, and don't forget to reach inside of the fender liner and lock into that tab. Just repeat the same steps to the other side and you're good to go.
The XB Hybrid LED headlights for your Ram are a no-brainer. They look cool, they're super bright, they're super wide, and really easy to install. It's not a tough install if you've ever replaced even a headlight bulb on this truck. It's practically the same amount of work. If you compare these to any other headlight in the same price range, these will dominate, I promise you. Now, we don't just sell these headlights for your Ram. We have a ton of really exciting products and a lot of videos. We've been testing products for the Ram trucks for a long time, so go check out our other videos so you can find the Ram playlist, or just search our channel for the words Dodge Ram. And our website. We have vehicle-specific kits for all kinds of different lighting upgrades for your Ram, no matter what trim level or what year you have. So go check out headlightrevolution.com to learn more about what you can do to your truck today.